The story opens in the great city of Emperor Khan. Many messengers from other kingdoms have gathered to offer their gifts to the emperor. Khan's daughter named Turandot enters the hall. She runs around chasing a butterfly. Her father points her at the butterfly's direction, but the little girl stumbles on the carpet and falls on the ground. She is immediately picked up by the maid, and her father tries to stop her from crying. The carpet on the floor represents the map of the empire. The opening where Turandot stumbled represents a little kingdom named Malvaya, which is not yet a part of Khan's empire. Upon being aware of that, the emperor orders his men to make Malvaya join the empire. The emperor's men depart and ride their horses towards that kingdom. Malvaya is a peaceful kingdom. Its royal family wears 3 magic bracelets. One for the king, one for the queen, and one for their son, Prince Caliph. They got those bracelets from their ancestor, who told them that these 3 bracelets should never come into the hands of a human being. If they were worn together, then that person would get a bad curse. The young prince trains his sword skills with his master named Zhou. Soon, the peace is disturbed. The kingdom is attacked by the emperor's army. The battle is lost for them. The king and the queen, along with their army, have fallen. The generals find the bracelets on the ground, and they take them back to Khan. When it is time for Turandot's birthday, Khan brings her into a room full of gifts for her. The bracelets are among those gifts. Turandot seems to be really fond of them. She wants to give one to the emperor, but he puts all 3 of them around his daughter's wrist. Right then, a curse gets activated and the bracelets dig deep into Turandot's arm. She tries to shake the pain away, but to no avail. The girl loses the ability to see color, and her life changes forever. Meanwhile, Master Zhou brings Caliph in the great city and reunites with his daughter Lu. Back in the castle, the high priest has consulted the heavens, and he now knows that Turandot's curse can only be lifted by one of her future suitors. There are 3 riddles to be solved, and they must be solved when Turandot turns 15 years old, which is the age of marriage. Warning notice: if the curse is not lifted until she hits 18, her heart will turn to ice and she will lose her mind. Later on, beautiful fireworks explode into the night sky, but Turandot can't enjoy the show because the only thing she can see is some light flashes. In the meantime, Lu and Caliph have met and they enjoy the show together, 2 newly formed siblings. Several years later, Caliph has grown up, but Zhou has given him the name Blue Eyes. He has grown fond of the fireworks, and that gives his sister the chance to play with him and mess up his face. Since he needs more gunpowder, she takes him to the mines. They witness how some masters of the art work on the fireworks. However, they are spotted by the guards and they have to run. After making a fool out of them, they find a path and escape. Meanwhile, General Boyan enters Turandot's room in order to train her because Khan has ordered him so. The 2 of them start fighting, but the curse has given Turandot some super speed abilities. Eventually, Boyan gets a hold of her outside. Suddenly, Caliph and Lu appear and run to the princess' aid. Boyan and Caliph fight. The general feels like he has seen this fighting style before. In any case, the general overpowers Caliph and is about to hit him, but Turandot extends her arm and stops him. She asks Caliph to be her new training partner. They meet again later on. The problem is, only royal guards are allowed in her room, and Caliph needs to become one. The 2 of them start training together to work towards that goal. While they do, Caliph touches her hand in the bracelets, and he gets some short flashbacks of the past. In the palace, the high priest is trying to make Boyan invincible by performing a ritual, but it does not work. It becomes obvious that Boyan has a plan. He wants to kill Khan in order to become the new emperor. Priest says that there is another way. He can also become king of the kingdom by marrying Turandot. Later, Caliph wants to go back to the castle to see Turandot, but his sister advises him of the contrary. She knows the general is an evil man. She wants him to stay away from him. Despite her warnings, Caliph goes back to the castle on a full moon and finds Turandot tied up in her room. He rushes to free her and ignores her when she tells him to let her alone. When he frees her, Turandot turns the silk into a weapon. Due to her curse, she sees Caliph like he is an evil skeleton. She chases him outside the room and attacks him. Caliph is able to talk some sense into her by telling her he is Blue Eyes. Although Turandot recognizes him, she prompts him to leave, and she doesn't want to see him ever again. A few weeks afterwards, Caliph has become a royal guard. Meanwhile, the emperor notifies his daughter that Prince Yuthong has arrived. His younger brother had tried to solve the bracelet riddles a few months ago, but he failed and died. In the local market, Lu has stolen a bag full of money, and she tips all the local performers. Soon, she and her accomplice steal Thong's dagger. Thong and his giant bodyguard go after them. The chase through the market leads to a structure breaking and falling towards Thong, but Caliph jumps on him and saves him. Then, he takes the stolen goods from his sister and returns them to Thong. The two of them visit the firework factory. Thong tells Caliph the story of his brother, who died while trying to resolve Tyrandit's curse. The two of them bond and swear as brothers. The next day, Thong and his bodyguard approach Tyrandit and surprise her. They are not there for her curse, but to avenge Thong's brother. They attack Tyrandit, but she is fast and evades their efforts. Eventually, she traps both of them, and they are taken away for a public execution. Khan wants to give Thong a chance of redemption and let him live if he solves the riddles. Thong is not interested in that, but then Caliph has another glimpse at the bracelets and has another flashback. He offers to try and solve the riddles on Thong's behalf, but he is not of royal blood and has no right to do so. However, Caliph says he and Thong are sworn brothers, and that gives him the right to give it a try. While Lu goes wild, the Emperor will allow Caliph to try, but if he fails, he and Thong will both die. The ritual starts and Tyrandit approaches Caliph to tell him the first riddle. After she does, Caliph experiences a flashback. He is taken back to the day when he was a child and his kingdom was attacked. His mother knew that they would not be able to defend. She convinced her husband to wear the 3 bracelets. Although he knew he would be cursed, he wore the bracelets to buy his family some time. That gave him extreme strength, and he defeated every enemy that came at him. Nevertheless, Blue Eyes still does not have an answer. He is taken to die that same night. While being carried by the guards, he has another flashback of his mother telling him to run because he is their only hope. That makes him understand that the answer to the first riddle is hope. He exclaims the answer, but since the guards don't see any fireworks, they carry on to kill him. At the same time, Tyrandit's first bracelet breaks. While Zhou and Lu buy Caliph some time, the fireworks light the sky, and now everybody knows that the first riddle has been solved. Caliph is carried through the crowd as a hero, while Khan expresses his opinion of making Caliph a lord. Being extremely jealous, Boyan steals a piece of the first broken bracelet and meets with his fellow general. He conspires with him and tells him to sabotage the fireworks. That way, nobody will know if Caliph solved the riddle or not, and it won't matter. He will be killed. The next day, Tyrandit narrates the second riddle, and Caliph is taken back in the past again. He sees his cursed father losing control. After he killed all the enemies, he turned against his own people because he was viewing them as enemies. After he killed everyone, he turned against his family and killed the queen. The queen's blood started waking him up. Caliph's time ends and he gets tied up. He is sentenced to death by 1,000 cuts. While his punishment starts, his flashback continues. He sees his father committing the unthinkable. He understands that the answer is blood, and he screams the word. Tyrandit's second bracelet is broken. She orders her female warriors to fire the fireworks. However, the fireworks get sabotaged, and the women are attacked by Boyan's men. A battle starts between the two sides, while at the same time Zhou and Lu are trying to help Caliph once more. While both parties fight strong, Boyan traps Lu, and Zhou is also seized. Boyan throws his sword at Caliph to kill him, but Tyrandit deflates it and tells everyone that Blue Eyes solved the second riddle as well. Later that night, Caliph has a talk with Zhou. He remembers his forgotten past. He remembers that Khan is responsible for his parents' death and for their lost kingdom. Meanwhile, Boyan gets a shard of the second bracelet as well. The next day, he and Lu ride their horses to leave the great city, but they are intercepted by the princess. She tries to figure out what's going on. Caliph tells her that he regrets solving the riddles for her. He wants to fight her, but she is stronger. Caliph unpredictably pushes himself onto her sword and whispers her name, which is the solution to the third riddle. Caliph is taken back in the castle to be taken care of. The doctor announces that he is quite lucky. Caliph's organs are reversed and his heart is located at the right side of his body. Khan gives Tyrandit and Caliph a moment. She lets him know that the emperor has arranged their marriage to take place tomorrow. However, Caliph appears quite distanced. Upon being asked if he is okay, he reminds Tyrandit that he solved 3 riddles for her, but now she needs to solve a riddle for him. His real name is not Blue Eyes, and she needs to find out what it is. In the meantime, Boyan has acquired pieces of all the bracelets. The high priest repeats the ritual they did earlier. This time it works and Boyan becomes invincible. Of course, being the bad guy he is, he stabs the high priest since he does not need him anymore. Then, he attacks and gets a hold on Caliph and his family. Tyrannid runs to his aid. She reaches an agreement with Boyan. He will not kill Caliph if she agrees to marry him tomorrow. At the same time, the high priest reaches the fireworks master and asks for his help. The next day, Khan expresses how deeply sad he is that things took this turn. However, Caliph would never want to be his son-in-law after what he did to his people. At that time, the high priest is brought in. He reveals that the massacre in Malvaya was Boyan's work. Although the emperor had ordered them to negotiate peacefully first, Boyan disobeyed the order and he just attacked Malvaya. The good guys are assisted by all of their friends. A fight starts between the two sides. Unfortunately, Boyan is indestructible. Caliph and Joe fail to stop him. Caliph and Tyrannid escape to the firework factory, where they set up a trap to kill Boyan. That does not work, but then Boyan hits Tyrannid hard and her blood has an effect on him when it touches his skin. Caliph sees that, and he grabs Tyrannid's sword, soaked in her blood. He touches it on Boyan's chest and breaks his invincibility. Then he pushes it in and is able to penetrate his skin. That destroys Boyan and burns him into ashes. Tyrannid dies into Caliph's hands, but she tells him where to find the royal secrets of the art of fireworks. Soon, Caliph leads the empire, he rebuilds the kingdom of Malvaya, and he becomes a master of the fireworks. Remember to subscribe to my channel, and we will see you next time.